This module is introducing the concept of the standard deviation, a crucial statistical tool for measuring variability in data. The previous video showed how to compute these numbers by hand, and you should be able to do this for a small set of nice numbers. That's where the concept behind the numbers is. But this is the 21st century. We should be able to use modern computational tools to find the sample variance and standard deviation for real data sets. And that's the focus of this video. And in particular, we will look at using Microsoft Excel. There are built-in intrinsic functions for finding sample variance and standard deviation. Want the sample variance, the function is var.s, and give it the data. Want the standard deviation of the sample, stdev.s, and give it the data. Let's look at an example. These are data we'll be playing with later this semester in our forecasting unit as we look at various economic and political measures and see how well they're connected with outcome of presidential elections. But for right now, let's focus just on one of these, the unemployment rate. And let's find the historical standard deviation of those unemployment numbers. One way to do this is simply position the cursor on the spreadsheet at a position where you would like the standard deviation to go, type in the function stdev.s, give it the data you want the standard deviation of, enter, and it computes the standard deviation of 1.52 and some change. It went through all of our computations, data minus the middle, square them, add them all up, divide by n minus 1, take the square root. It's done all of that, and it's given us the standard deviation. If you don't recall the exact syntax, you can always use the function wizard to compute any intrinsic function. Once again, position your cursor at the cell you want the result to go in. Select the function wizard button up here. This will bring up a dialog box which essentially will walk through the steps of constructing the formula for you. Select that you want statistical functions. Scroll down through the resulting list until you see stdev.s, the sample standard deviation. And if you weren't sure exactly what that formula is, it tells you immediately below what it's computing. Say OK. It brings up a second dialog box. You can either click and drag or simply type in the cell reference of the numbers you want the standard deviation of, say OK, and once again it computes the standard deviation for us. Pretty straightforward process. Again, you should know how to use a spreadsheet to get the sample variance and standard deviation for real world data. But you should also, if you had a small set of nice numbers, be able to compute those quantities by hand. That's where the concept lies.